Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to share my simple trading plan including my full analysis, entries, profit targets no matter if the market goes up or even if the market goes down. So make sure you watch until the end because no one is sharing all of this with you 100% for free. So let's jump into the gold market. Alright, so here on this gold market we can see that there were a number of moves that happened this past week. This was Sunday, Monday, and then there was a US holiday in here, and then this is the only move on gold that I caught this week because some of these things happened when I was sleeping and then I was looking at other markets, so I wasn't able to catch all the different moves. But as you can see, based on the trading plan that we talked about last week, and if you want to go check that out, go ahead and you can find that video on my channel. It's just the one right before this one. But basically, I talk exactly about this particular setup, and this is a setup that I caught. And this was, how many pips was this? I want to say this was like 100. Okay, yeah, this total is like 155 pips, which is amazing. And I even got into the move just a little bit late just because price jumped up significantly. So let's go ahead and start on the weekly, and you can see my little trading plan right here. Definitely ended the week in gold in profit, so definitely a good thing there. So let's remove all of our drawings. We don't use any indicators, and except for the sessions one, but let's go ahead and hide that really quick. There's a hide. There we go. Okay, great. So now we got a clean chart. Now we have all of this price action. I do have some alerts. I think I probably will close these because these were based on things that I was seeing throughout the week. Actually, I'm going to keep that one because that's a really major one. We're going to talk about that in a second. So if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see very clearly that this candle closed a weak bullish candle. So if you are bearish candle. So if you remember from last week, I did talk about this candle right here, that there was a possibility that price could go up because we closed a really strong bullish candle. And you can see that price beyond this did go up from 23.40 all the way up to about 23.69, and then that was that move that I caught, and then I got out. I set my stop loss around 23.65 just because I knew that there was a possibility to come up here, but it didn't. So maybe next week it'll do that. Who knows? So anyway, so this is what I want to do on the weekly time frame. I want to go ahead, and this may be a little far off, but I do want to start marking up some of the levels here, mainly right here at 22.86, mainly because we have a nice strong support right here. And then if we look left, we also see, let me get my arrow, we also see a nice strong support here, and then we see price essentially break this level. Now this was a break before any of this was here, but now that this stuff is here, this lets us know that this is a really nice level. So we definitely want to mark that off. And then I'm going to mark right here. So this is around 23.34. I could probably get it a little bit closer to the bodies. So typically when I'm drawing my levels, I do like to have them, if the wicks are about the same, I do like to put them at the wicks. If not, in this case, like this one's short, this one's long, then I like to put it close to the body. So in this situation, I want to mark my level here, and then we may be drawing off some levels at these wicks, but on lower time frames, they will be candles, so we will get to that when we get to that. So let's go ahead and go down to the daily time frame, reset our view, and then scoot over. And now, let's make this a little bit bigger. So now we're seeing a lot more information than we were seeing on the weekly time frame. It is a little choppy, but I did draw this level, so I am going to keep it for now. We may adjust that, but I do want to draw another level right here, right at 23.60, mainly because this formed a resistance level. We got a bullish candle next to a bearish candle, or followed by a bearish candle. So that's a nice resistance there. And if you just wanted to drag this over, you can see that this resistance here lines up perfectly with this resistance from last month. But I'm not going to do that just because I like to keep my charts a bit clean. And then I'm going to draw another level here on the daily. Same idea right here at this resistance level. I am going to drag it out just a little bit. And I don't know if price will reach up here, but why not? Let's just go ahead and put another level at this resistance level. So once again, let me drag this out. And the reason why I wanted to mark this off is because, as we all know, gold is a little crazy and it could do anything at any time. So I basically want to map out my zones based on that information. So let's go to the H4 and then let's go ahead and reset our charts. So now we got some nice looking charts. So for the past few weeks, if you've been following these videos, you see that I put my level right here at 23 or 24.30 for this level up here. We can add a level there, but I don't feel inclined to do so at this point just because current price is way down here. Almost, wow, almost what, 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 pips away, which is a lot of pips. So we're just going to leave that right there for now. And then I am going to adjust this level. I am going to push this up here right at 23.86. I am going to make this a little bit slimmer, just so that way it's covering these wicks right here. And then this level, I'm going to make it a little slimmer. And then same idea, I'm going to place it right on top of this resistance level right here. So one of the things that I was looking at with this down here, it's a lot going on in this area and it can be very challenging to trade. So one of the things, let me move this up so that way we can all see it. Okay, cool. Okay, so one of the things that I see in here, obviously there's a lot of chop. But if we look at this clean area right here and then this clean area to the downside right here, I can see that price made this really strong bullish engulfing candle. It was followed by a bearish candle and then followed by a bullish candle. So with this bearish candle and bullish candle together and then price popping up, this tells me that this is a nice strong support right at 23.32. And then if I look to the left, I see that price rejected this area, This came up and then came back down. This is considered a fake out. This is something that cannot be anticipated. But this is letting me know that based on past price action, that this is a good support level. And the fact that I said before, price pushed up here. And then price came up to this point and then broke this support level. And I kind of see what price could potentially do. We'll talk about that in a second. But I really like this level. So as far as all of this other price action in here where it's really jittery, I don't want to mess with that at all. So what I am going to do, I like to trade really clean areas. So what I am going to do is I am going to move this bottom level up to around 22.90. So that's a nice level right there. And what else? Probably not. I mean, so if I wanted to, I could take trades off of these levels right here, but I just don't like to just because the price action is really choppy. So for me, I mean, you can do that for you, but for me, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get this box here, and this is going to be a no trade zone for me. Actually, I'm going to drag it. Well, I'm not going to drag it all the way over here because we don't know what price is going to do. Price could be really clean in this area, but as far as taking trades off of these different levels, like this level, this level, this level. This is going to be a clean level because this is at the very bottom. But in between here, I don't want to do it. So that's looking good to me on the H4 time frame. Let's go down to the H2 time frame, and you can see a lot more choppiness and a lot more of what I'm talking about. So, and I already see a potential setup here. We'll talk about that in a second. So far, these levels are looking really good. I still like this as a support because I like to focus on most recent price action. Yes, this did break through, but we don't have any other, we don't see a support or resistance, at least not on the H2 time frame, to tell us what price could potentially do. So now let's go down to the H1 time frame, reset our charts. Now that we have more data, we can see a lot more candles here on the chart. I still like this level. I still like this. I am going to push this up a little bit. Now we're going to be around 23.66, mainly because in this area we can see a whole bunch of rejections. So there's 4 rejections here. And actually I did try to I took a test trade in here, testing something last night, and it worked out temporarily and then it just sold off. So thankfully, I had a stop loss, but it was a really tiny, like 0.01, just to test out an idea that I was playing with. I had some notes here and I wanted to test it out. So just based on my own trading and other things that I've seen in the market. So Yeah, that was the only other trade that I took outside of this really big one. So this is still looking good. All right, so as far as my game plan for this upcoming week, like I said, I really like clean moves. I don't know what's going to happen here, but one thing that I see that jumps out to me is the fact that a nice support was formed here. And then let's zoom in so that way we can all see this. So a nice support was formed here. And I also noticed that these two wicks, they're almost about the same size. Now, that it's not a guarantee that price will pop up when you see that, but I like seeing a support. So what I anticipate price potentially doing for continued sales, price could come up here to 23.32, maybe reject this level, and then come down. It could come here, and then price could continue down to here. So that's one idea. So another idea that I see potentially playing out, same thing, price coming here, maybe bouncing off of this level and then coming back up and then pushing up and then retesting and then doing this. Because one thing to notice is that price was going up. Now it did break structure here. So structure meaning this level that I talked about, that is a really strong support level. We formed support, we got all these rejections at this level. So price could do that. And then, let's see, so we did the up, we did the down. Okay, great. So, and then basically it's just waiting. It's just waiting to see. So let me clean this up a little bit just because there is a lot of lines here. But I do want to draw where price could potentially go. So from here, from 23.18 all the way down to 22.91, that is a really nice range. That is, what is that, 20, 30, like 300 pips. That's insane. But that could be a nice trade. And then another idea, like I said, if price gives me some sort of confirmation, so I typically like to use candle confirmations, waiting for candles to close. Sometimes I will enter when the candle is fluctuating, but it just really depends on the situation. But let's just say I get a candle close above here, and then price can continue up here. Now, it probably won't be perfectly at this level. It would probably be somewhere in here. But generally, I'll be buying mainly because earlier I talked about I didn't want to trade this because it was really choppy to the left, but this is really clean. This is a really clean move going down. So with the market, it likes to balance itself out. So if I see a lot of selling here, eventually there will be a lot of buying here, and I want to be a part of that move. And this was kind of my idea with this trade right here. So if we go, let's go to a higher time frame so we're not scrolling forever. But if we go and look to the left here, this was a strong sell down. Now, unfortunately, this was all choppy going up. But eventually, once we broke above this level here, it was smooth sailing. Like this trade didn't take any time to play out because I was looking for the correction of this move. So there's the potential for this other thing to happen here. So that is essentially my trade idea for that part. But then if price continues to move up, then of course I'll be taking buys up to here, up to 23.86. And then beyond here, it gets a little tricky. Now, price could do whatever it wants, but it can come up to here, but just notice that there's a lot of rejections here. So I'm not the type of trader where I like to buy and then sell immediately. So here's the area where price tends to sell off. And then some people could take buys, but that's just not me. I need to see market structure and candle confirmations. But from here to here, I'm focused on buys. And that's pretty much that. And then when it comes to sells, I know we didn't draw anything down here, but this is a really strong level right here. Not to say that price cannot break it, but it formed a support. There's a lot of rejections on a higher time frame, such as the H4. So it would take a lot of volume, a lot of force for price to break this. And if it does, then of course I will adjust my plan, as you should be doing as well, because the market could do anything at any time, and you just have to make sure that you make adjustments accordingly. So if you like this video, then go ahead and give it a like and subscribe. And then also, if you're not subscribed to me here on Instagram, where I share a whole bunch of tips and things that I've learned throughout the week, then go ahead and hit that follow button here on Instagram. My handle is Chart Confidence, and I'll see you next time.